There's our yellow jersey leader after stage 1, and they will head towards the mountains and Highway 12.
August 2013, the Tour of Utah attracted some of the most prestigious competitive cyclists from around the world. 16 pro teams from 7 countries, including 5 teams that compete at the Tour de France. The Tour of Utah was watched live in many of their home countries as cyclists rode through spires of red rock and the green forests of the Wasatch Mountains.
Unbelievable. You know, we have it all.
The beauty of the Utah terrain is next to none. The route was spectacular, and for the race, police cleared traffic during each segment as the cyclists approached. Yet on a typical day, cyclists anywhere take big risks when they're using roadways alongside motor vehicles.
When the trails are there, they're utilized. They're great. It gets the cyclists out of danger on the road. I've been hit by a car. My son's been hit. You know, the old adage is you're not a real cyclist till you've been hit by a car. And that's a sad thing to say. But the trails make it really nice.
Utah cities are trying new ways to improve safety while promoting active transportation. In Salt Lake City, the Green Bike program allows a commuter to borrow a bike and drop it off at another bike share station. An app for a smartphone will tell commuters how many bikes are available at every station in real time. Salt Lake City is also improving safety for cyclists with innovative ideas like cycling traffic signals and bicycle tracks like this one along 30s between 6th and 9th South. Many cities are creating master plans for active transportation because, frankly, citizens are asking for them.
This is what they tell us they want. We should provide it as elected officials, and that is more trails. And I don't think that the state of Utah, Salt Lake County, and Sandy citizens are much different abroad than they are here.
Dirt trails, paved trails, pathways used for recreation or to get to work or school. Sandy City Councilman Chris McCandless understands very well why residents rank trails as priority number 1.
It's an amazing place, and you're 5-10 minutes from home, and there's nobody else here but you. And so it's a great place to meditate and think, get exercise, and enjoy the scenery.
And there are few who could rival the passion for cycling held by Ogden's Mayor Mike Caldwell.
I just love to be on a bike because you can see so much country. We live in such an amazing state for all of that. I just think it's the best vehicle ever built.
Ogden and Sandy are just 2 of many Utah cities working on a master plan, creating multi-use paths for cyclists, hikers, and people who seek opportunities for active transportation. But creating pathways that connect communities costs money.
And so the capital that is needed is significant. It's just in our city alone, it's millions and millions of dollars. And then we get to take care of more trails where our Parks and Rec department is second to none. We have phenomenal people, and they work harder than most people I've ever seen. They have great pride in their work, but they're pushed to the limit. Providing more trails, which is what everybody wants, is great, but then how do we pay for the additional workload that obviously has to be completed?
And in many cities and towns, a functional trail system involves roadways that are not within city boundaries. Case in point, Ogden Canyon, which leads from the city to Pineview and Snow Basin. But right now, cyclists and pedestrians are advised not to enter the canyon, and you can see why. The road is extremely narrow.
It's really tight and dangerous, and you can't expect anybody to get in and out of there.
Planners would like to create a trail separate from the roadway, but the land is not owned by the city. Much of it is privately owned, and the road itself is a state highway.
We've got to have an off-road type of trail, and we've got some easements and some ways we could look at that, but it's going to be a very expensive fix or a project that there's just not budget for.
In St. George, where paths vital to the city are also controlled by outside agencies, the city has fostered healthy relationships with other transportation organizations to bring improvements to its active transportation network.
If you want a successful trail system in your community, it cannot be an afterthought.
Assistant City Manager Mark Mortensen says St. George will often assess a need and draft a plan, then submit it to the organization overseeing the area of roadway in need of improvement, offering workable solutions.
We didn't say, hey, fix our problem. We helped fix it for them.
When there is a need, Mortensen also believes communities will find a way to make it happen.
If your community understands what a trail system can do for it, they're more likely to approve some type of a bond wherein you can finance a trail system and obviously using local and state funding with that as well.
So how do communities create multi-use paths and trail systems that connect fluidly from point A to point B? We'll look at one success story and at Utah's big plans to get connected. I'm Susan Wood for the Utah League of Cities and Towns.